Welcome to Coffee with Chris and Megan. Today's video, we're going to tell you how you can get ahead financially as a couple without making any more money than you do right now. We're not talking about how to get by. We're talking about how you can actually get ahead financially.
Life is expensive right now.
It sure is.
It's crazy out there. The housing market, groceries. I mean, our grocery bill we're having to fight to get it down every day.
Yeah, I remember when you could get Italian sausage for $1 per sausage. And now
That's a deep cut, man. Italian sausage.
And now it's like $2 or $3.
Highway robbery. Well, we were going to buy coffee the other day from Trader Joe's, which we're not drinking that today. Stay tuned. I'm drinking my new favorite coffee today.
We'll tell you what it is at the end.
They raised it by $1.50. Like,
wow.
That's in long term. That's a lot. That's a big jump. It's not like 20 cents.
So we know life is expensive.
Yeah.
And so when it's expensive and money becomes a stress, we've got to become intentional. I'm telling you, by the end of this video, you are going to feel like you got a raise. Mm-hmm. They're going to feel like they got a raise.
I think so.
Even though they're not making any more money.
And we want to help get the two of you on the same page because money fights is still the #1 cause of fights in marriage.
It really is. And the thing about money fights is this. We think it's a math problem.
Right.
We think that if I just made more money, or if, I just calculated the math right, really it's a behavioral issue.
Oh, dang. That's a really hard truth to swallow, though.
Usually it's because we want to spend money, and usually in the marriage, there's a person who likes to spend more and a person who wants to save more.
For sure.
Dave Ramsey calls it the nerd and the free spirit. I think I'm both, though. I think I happen to be the nerd and the free spirit.
You fluctuate because there's times that you're like all in on the budget, and then there's times you're like, whatever, we're going out to dinner.
Yeah, let's just go out to dinner. I call myself the nerd and the free spirit because I love to crunch numbers.
Yes,
I love getting a plan at the beginning of the month, knowing where every dollar is going to go, and I love that part. But then during the month, sometimes, like you said, I just a free spirit.
That's
I just
where
want to buy that.
That's where we switch, right? Because I'm the nerd in the fact that when there is a plan, I am sticking to that plan, come hell or high water, to the penny. But create the plan, my brain might explode. So that's where I value your mind.
You're interesting because
I'm interested.
You won't spend money. It's so hard for you to spend money. You're very frugal. You don't like to spend money on yourself. I've never been like, honey, we need to talk about this spending ever in our marriage, which I'm very grateful
Thank you.
for.
Except for when it comes to supplements. That is my downfall. But.
Yeah. And organic food. But that's a video for a different day. Maybe we'll title that video, When Your Groceries Cost as Much as Your Mortgage.
Ouch. Okay.
That's a different video.
There we go.
For a different day.
But I think that, you talk about spending habits, and with couples, it can be tricky because you have different spending habits, right? And then you feel guilty, and then you go from that just to hiding purchases from each other. And I just heard the statistic that the average person spends $150 a month on just random unplanned things. That adds up to $1,800 a year on just little things. And we've all done it, right? We're at Target, it's on clearance, it's on Amazon, you throw it in your cart. Those dang Instagram ads that you can just shop with now.
They add up. And I'll be willing, if I were to ask you watching this, what is your monthly take home as a couple? 90% of the people I ask that question, they don't know the number. They can't tell me exactly how much money they bring in. So what's your expenses for the month?
Yeah.
They can't tell me that either. So they end up living paycheck to paycheck because the money's just coming in and the money's going out without a plan. And so for the rest of this video, what we want to do is we want to show you how to have a plan. We want to give you practical steps so that you can get ahead with the money you're making currently right now and not feel strapped and behind all the time.
And bring that tension into your marriage. What would it feel like if you actually had peace and felt like you were on the same team financially with your spouse? Let's dive in.
Yeah, because when you feel squeezed, in your marriage, when the tension's high, the worst part of you is going to come
Oh
out.
my
So if you're
gosh,
stressed
yeah.
about money, two things are going to happen. One, that stress is going to be real, but two, you're going to take it out on each other. You're going to blame each other. So let's create some practical steps here so that you can actually feel you got a raise by the end of this video. I love that feeling. So what do we do, Meg? What's the first step?
The first step is you have to know your roles. Identify which one of you is the nerd and which one of you is the free spirit. Who loves to crunch the numbers, make the plan, get the spreadsheet, and which one of you is like, I'm a little bit more creative than that. My brain doesn't work that way, but I will stick to a plan if you give it to me.
Yeah, because you need someone to create the plan.
You do.
Someone to know how much money you make, what your monthly expenses are, and how every single dollar that comes in is going to be spent or saved or given away.
Yeah.
And really, there's only 3 things you can do with money.
Sure.
But in order to do them well, you have to have a plan. So you can save, you can give, and you can spend. That's the only 3 things you can do with money. And a good spending plan, a good budget has all 3 of those. So you need to figure out which one of you is going to own the budget, which one of you is going to create it, which one of you is going to do the work to crunch the numbers and see where you're at each and every month.
It's vital.
It's crucial.
Yeah.
And I think in that, side note, we're going to start with a practical step of giving. You know, like I said, there's 3 things you do: spend, save, give. Giving is so crucial.
And I think a lot of people hold off on giving until they meet that certain dollar amount in their mind, right?
Yeah, I'm gonna spend and I'm gonna save and meet all my own needs, and then if there's anything left over, I'll give. Here's why I think that's not good.
Sure.
Okay, and I am a pastor, so of course, I got to throw a little tithing.
But it's
message
something
in there.
that we've lived by in our marriage. I mean, when we were first married, we had nothing.
Yeah, we had nothing.
We had nothing.
And so we believe in the principle of tithing, which is you give 10% away to your local church. And the reason we believe in that, one, it's biblical, but there's a principle involved here called sowing and reaping. And it's basically the Apostle Paul quoting the law of harvest. And what he's basically saying is you reap what you sow. If you sow watermelon, you can't expect corn.
Right.
if you're given seeds, if you have a bunch of seeds and you keep them, say you have 10 seeds.
Okay.
You keep them in your hand. What do you have?
Seeds.
You have 10 seeds.
Yeah.
That's all you'll ever have is 10 seeds.
Right.
Now, if you plant those seeds into the ground in different places, say you pick 3 different spots and you plant those seeds, they will grow and produce a harvest. They will produce way more than 10 seeds. You will actually grow something. So when we talk about spending, saving, giving, it's actually like God has provided you with these seeds, and now you're investing them. And some you're going to give, and they're going to have eternal value. You're going to give to your church. You're going to give to some things, some causes,
nonprofit organizations.
Yeah, some
like
ministry.
No Small Life.
Yeah, some ministries. You're going to give to that, and those seeds are going to go out and make an eternal impact. Then you're going to save some. You put some money in savings with interest, or you put them into your Roth IRA, or you invest them. Those are going to multiply, right? Those seeds are going to be sown, and you get 8, 10, 12% interest, and they're going to produce a lot more money for you than if you just kept those seeds to yourself.
Yeah.
And then you have the spending. And the spending, what I love about this, you still are sowing seeds, because when you sow these seeds as you spend, you gain an experience.
Sure.
We sowed into a vacation. We gained an experience. We sowed into paying our mortgage. We get to live in our home.
Right.
We sowed into paying our car. I get to drive to work. All of these seeds they multiply when you plant them. And so we want you to look at your money like that. So one, create a plan that has to do with spending, saving, giving, and give.
So good. Yes.
Give some away. Start with giving. Because when you start with giving, God gets involved.
Yeah.
And you can reap what you sow. Otherwise, you're not sowing, so you're not going to reap.
And it keeps our heart right? I mean, when we're giving, it keeps our heart from being just self-focused all the time and worried and fearful about money, and we actually become more free. So that's the first step. The second one is have a monthly business meeting. Have a monthly business meeting. This is so crucial for your marriage, for yourself, because a lot of times what we see is that one spouse might be the nerd, and so they're creating everything, and the other spouse literally has no clue what's going on.
Right.
They maybe haven't seen the expenses, they haven't seen the books, they haven't seen bank accounts, investments, or they might have, like for us, for example, Chris loves to crunch numbers, but I own the calendar for our family.
Right.
He might make this plan, but I'm like, but wait, we have a wedding, but wait, we have this. So we have a monthly business meeting where he's like, this is a plan I came up with, and I bring in the calendar. Okay, here's what we need to allot for. We need to get the sprinklers blown out. We need to, go to this baby shower. And then we create together, finalize, and sign off on the budget.
And that's so crucial. I think it's personally dangerous for one person to own everything and never share it with the other person, because many things can happen. That's where hidden expenses come in. That's when you can feel like mom or dad to your spouse. Like, hey, I'm going to give you your allowance today. I'm going to give you what you need. No. So what you need is you have this business meeting where, like Megan said, the nerdy person, they crunch the numbers. The other person, I don't know what showers and birthdays and everything's coming up. I'm going to forget that. So she brings it. We have this business meeting. The other thing that allows us to do is not talk about business on date nights.
Come on now.
Right?
Yes.
We don't sit in there when we're at dinner. Hey, did you pay that bill? Hey, where are we at financially right now? Hey, how's our Roth IRA doing?
Right. No, we schedule this on like a Monday night. Like it's not sexy.
Right.
Right.
It's scheduled on a Monday night, and you usually right before the month starts, and we talk about all the expenses. We make a plan. We have the business meeting. Then, like Megan said, we sign off on it.
Both of us.
We sign off on it.
It really is amazing the kind of like camaraderie, team effort. We leave that feeling like we're empowered. We're on the same team. We're going to go after this. And that leads us right to the third step, which it gets really exciting to make the plan, right? But the step number 3, you got to stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
Stick to the plan.
This is the hardest part.
Yes.
Okay, we can get all geared up. And I'm telling you, if you've never created a budget and you start with, here's what I'm making and here's all of our expenses, one of two things happen when you do that. You either feel like, man, I got a raise. Like that's what I said. You're going to feel like you got a raise by the end of this video, because you're going to see, oh my gosh, we have more money than we thought.
Yeah.
Or the other thing happens is, man, I'm not making enough. We got to make a little bit more.
Yeah.
But when you feel like you got this raise, now you stick to this budget and you have this money left over at the end of the month. But it's so important to stick to the budget. It's so important to stick to the plan. So we encourage people, when you're making the plan, give each other some spending money. Like, here, there's $200 you can do with whatever you want this month, or whatever the number is, and I can do whatever I want, but you stick to it. That way, say we have $300 in the budget for entertainment this month, and we've gone out to dinner, and then friends come and say, hey, do you want to go out to dinner? And we look at our budget and we have $0 left for entertainment. We can't go out to eat with you, but maybe you can just come over and hang out afterwards.
Come over, hang out, or we'll grab a coffee, or we'll do something like that. Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. The tool that we use personally, and it's free to track our budget, is the Every Dollar app.
Every Dollar.
We love
Great
that
budgeting app.
because you can update it on the fly. I think that's the trickiest part with a budget, is updating on the fly. I made this purchase. I went here, entering it in. Love that tool.
Meg, you have a great line here in our notes. I want you to read this line verbatim right here. You say, can you read that?
I can read that.
Please do. That's amazing.
The true purpose of your budget is not to restrict your life, but to give you freedom and unity to purposefully build the life you want and to protect your marriage.
I think that's such a great line, because some people go, I don't want to live on a budget. I don't want to be restricted. But you are. You're living paycheck to paycheck.
That's way more restrictive.
I just heard a stat that said people make $200,000 a year are just as likely to live paycheck to paycheck as someone who makes $60,000 a year. And it's because as your life increases, you just start taking on more luxuries, and you're still not making a plan with your money.
Right.
And wouldn't you know, the Bible talks about this. And we're going to read a scripture in our sod,
Okay.
our scripture of the day today. It comes from the Apostle Paul, 1 Corinthians 14:40, and it says this, but everything should be done in a fitting and orderly way. How amazing is that? This is what we're talking about with our money, doing this in a fitting and orderly way, creating the plan, sticking to the plan,
Yep.
meeting together, getting on the same page. What else we got, Meg Reed?
Well, what else we got is coming up next. We are answering your financial questions. It is time for the espresso round.
All right, Meg, first question here. It
Okay.
says this. The person asking says, I'm the nerd and my free spirit spouse just can't stick to the plan.
Okay.
I feel like their parent. Help. Wow, we've heard this a lot.
So much. And back to a point that you made earlier, I think the key here is putting personal money for each of you in the budget.
Yes.
One of the hardest things that you can do to a free spirit is make them feel like they don't have any wiggle room, like they don't have any kind of creative control. And so even if it's $20, right? Even if it's 30 something, whatever your budget can allow, giving money to spend however you want, right?
Yes.
That way, if
No questions asked.
no,
Right? So like if I want to go blow my personal money on golf all in 1 week, I can do it.
you can totally do it. And that's fine. But when it's done, it's done.
That's good.
Right? And then, then I'm not asking Chris, can I go to Ulta today because I'm out of this?
Right.
You're right. So you have that chunk of money that's all yours and you've agreed upon it. And then when it's done, it's done. And so really that is, if you can stick to the plan, but know you have freedom within that, it's not about control. It's about the financial freedom that you guys are pursuing together. Okay, Chris, next question.
All right.
How do we budget for the holidays without, holidays are upon us, without totally derailing our financial progress?
This is a great question.
So good.
And I just want to let everyone know, December 25th is the same every year.
It's not a surprise, guys.
It's not a surprise.
Crazy?
You have 12 months to prepare for Christmas. If you don't want it to ruin your budget, set aside a sum of money each month into a separate account and account for Christmas. This is our Christmas spending.
Yep.
Right here. We're spending $50. We're setting aside each month, $100, whatever it is. We're setting that money aside in our budget,
There.
in our spending
There it
plan.
goes.
We're setting it aside so that when Christmas comes, it's there.
Yes. And we have a really detailed video about this, about 5 different steps. I will link that below and how not to go into debt this Christmas. It's an older video, but man, the content's super good.
Yeah, and something you say in that video that I love is basically not overdoing it at Christmas. Like starting with a Christmas budget and sticking to your Christmas
Actually
budget.
sticking to the Christmas budget.
So yeah, watch that video. We'll link it down below. All right, Meg, do we have any more questions?
That's it for this week.
That's it for
And
this
if you have
week.
questions, please throw them in the comments below. Send us a DM. Send us an email. We're super easy to get a hold of. We would love to answer your relationship questions.
All right, Meg, give us something final we can brew on this week. We can sip on this week. What is the final thought here?
Final thought is this. I just want for you guys, so many times when we talk about money, it just feels stressful. It feels overwhelming because we all come into marriage with a money story, right? Maybe we're coming from a poverty mindset. Maybe we're coming from a background where money was scarce or it wasn't talked about. I'm hearing that a lot. Like we just don't talk about that. And so you're coming in to a relationship that you're supposed to be an expert at this so you guys can win and you just don't have the knowledge, right? So we want to decrease the shame, but paint a picture for you. What if the two of you could be on the same page and actually take the steps to create the financial future that you desire and setting your next generations up for success?
Wow, that's a great closing thought. What if?
What if?
What if? What are the possibilities? What if it wasn't as much as, hey, I just need to make more money because that keeps growing.
Yeah.
But I just need to be intentional with my spouse.
Absolutely.
Get on the same page and create a vision and a plan for this money.
And it's not selfish, right? Think about what you can do for other people, right? If you are financially free.
Oh, that's what Dave Ramsey says. He says you You create this spending plan, you create this budget so that later on in life you can live and give like no one else.
Yeah.
And that is the goal, is to get rid of some of this debt, get rid of these things so you can live and give like no one else.
And if you guys liked this video in our marriage course, Make Love Work, we have an entire
Yes.
module. We will really break it down in there. We talk about financial intimacy. We talk about physical intimacy. That course is really comprehensive. You will love it. And I will link it below as always. And one more thing you're going to love is this coffee we are drinking.
Ooh.
I feel like I say this often, but this could be my new favorite. It is by Life Boost. It's the Embolden blend. It is organic, myotoxin free, mold free. It's fantastic. It was on major sale upon recording this video, so check the link below. It might still be on sale.
It's delicious. I give it about an 8.5 out of 10.
I mean, I'm at
pretty high.
11 out of 10, but
Wow.
to each his own, Chris Ria.
You love this coffee.
It's so good.
That's good. And if you're in the Metro Detroit area,
Yes.
we are pastors of a church in Sterling Heights, Michigan. Sterling Heights
Ministry.
Sterling Heights, Michigan, called Community Christian Church. You can check us out at cccsterling.org. We'd love to have you join us. We'd love to meet you. So have a great day, everyone. And remember, life and love, way too important to live on autopilot.
We'll see you next time. Bye, guys.